Okay, this is Katie Mathieson, North Carolina, Tennessee, L4 Canoe instructor update, top rapid of the Pigeon, about 1300 CFS. Let's watch your approach, Katie. Katie, some things that I'm noticing are a really nice use of a hinge at your waist. Your catch for your cross forward, your chin is over your knees. Something to keep working on is that your torso engagement on your onside, including in eddies, tends to be similar to your cross forward. So here your life jacket is facing almost perfectly forward, and I would say that your chin is over a similar part of your boat, like where the knees contact. Ideally, your blade would catch in a similar place, but you would get that by dropping your right shoulder back, left shoulder forward, and then your chin would be just back a little bit so that it's over your seat a little more. A little bit of a cross draw to help manage your angle. Nice. Something to consider, which wasn't really in my model, is this idea of approaching the eddy line on a carving arc. For you would be a carve towards your offside. That would allow you to stay on one side using the mechanics of the carving arc to kind of slingshot towards the eddy line with a little less effort. As it is, your pathway towards your exit of the eddy was the yellow arrow. Perfectly effective. Management of momentum and angle in the approach to your eddy departure is strong there. All right, let's watch your departure. Some things to highlight sort of for your information as your bow initially engages. You can see a relatively large bow pinning wave there, but your acceleration coming out of the eddy, especially right there, hangs your bow out over the wave trough, and the bow pinning wave moves further back on the boat. All of this gives you a little bit of a gliding ferry, especially helped by your stern draw there. Nice job continuing your cross-current momentum across that eddy. Your exit angle here, as you enter the fastest current, is fairly open. Now, you still get the same eddy that we do, but I wonder about entering this slack water in the middle here with a little more upstream angle. No, I take it back. It seems like you managed your angle that way. Let's see how that develops. Here you're a little bit past perpendicular to the eddy line, or sorry, to the current direction. So if this is the current direction, I think you'd agree you're a little bit past perpendicular. Maybe that arrow is more accurate. That just means that you're catching this eddy a little lower. Nice job using your cross on the inside of the turn there. And you still accelerate as you come into the eddy. There's not a moment where you're drifting downriver towards the eddy. But I do notice that your departure is a little bit lower than the rest of us. I believe we spoke about that. I believe that was a choice. Let's see how that plays out, half speed. You cross this eddy line on your cross, and I just wanted to highlight here you can see a bow pinning wave getting quite a bit bigger than it is on the downstream side during the power phase of this cross. And I believe that to be in part because you're engaging your bow right as your chin is weighted. So a couple thoughts there are just slightly different timing of the stroke. So that could be a cross a little earlier in relationship to the downstream current. You could also be figuring out a way to have your departure angle support an onside stroke there, which would have your chin more over your seat. And then lastly, what I've been talking about with some other folks is and the cross sort of accentuates this, is this idea of if you're hanging your bow over a wave trough, which I believe you have a little one right there, you can keep a flat tilt. By dropping this edge here, you're accelerating your turn, or you're tightening the arc of your turn. And that tightening arc of the turn is something you're fighting on your pry there, so you lose some momentum and you lose some position downstream from needing to stay on that pry there. Otherwise, nice job building some acceleration across multiple current speeds here. Nice work this weekend, Katie. Really great working with you.